This is a video for the students of class 8, subject science, chapter 10, that is reaching the age of adolescence. It's your lecture number 2. The topics to be discussed in this lecture are reproductive phase of life in humans, determination of the sex of a child, hormones other than sex hormones. Let's start with our first topic, that is reproductive phase of life in humans. We all aware by that the adolescents become capable of reproduction when their testes and ovaries begin to produce gametes. The capacity for maturation and production of gametes lasts for a much longer time in males than in females. Means adolescence is physically capable of reproduction, and this reproduction occurs when their testes and ovaries begin to produce gametes, and this production of gametes lasts for much longer time in males than in females. Okay, it lasts much longer time in males than in females. In females, the reproductive phase of life begins at puberty, means 10 to 12 years of age, and generally lasts till the age of approximately 45 to 50 years. Means the reproductive phase begins at the age of 10 to 12 years and lasts up to 45 to 50 years. And in that time, the ova begin to mature with the onset of puberty. The ova matures at puberty. Okay. The ova begins to mature with the onset of puberty. And the mature ovum takes 28 to 30 days to release by the ovaries. Means one ovum matures and is released by one of the ovaries once in about 28 to 30 days. And during this period, the wall of the uterus becomes thick. The wall of the uterus becomes thick so as to receive the egg. Now there are two possible results depending upon the fertilization of egg. First is, if it is fertilized, then it begins to develop and results in pregnancy. And the second is, if fertilization does not occur, the released egg and the thickened lining of the uterus along with its blood vessels are shed off, and this causes bleeding in women, which is called menstruation. And this bleeding occurs again after about 28 to 30 days. So what happens at puberty? First of all, the ova mature at puberty, and then ovum matures and released by ovaries once in about 28 to 30 days. During this period, the wall of the uterus becomes thick so as to receive the egg, and then there are two possible results depending upon the fertilization of egg. If fertilization occurs, then this results in pregnancy, and if fertilization does not occur, then it results in menstruation. Menstruation occurs once in about 28 to 30 days. The first menstrual flow begins at puberty and is termed as menarche. The menstrual cycle stops at 45 to 50 years. So what is menarche? Actually, it is the first menstrual flow begins at puberty and it stops, means this menstrual cycle stops at 45 to 50 years. It begins at puberty and stops at the age of 45 to 50 years. And this stoppage of menstruation is termed as menopause. Okay, this stoppage of menstruation is termed as menopause. So what is menarche? It is the first menstrual flow begins at puberty. And what is menopause? It is the stoppage of menstruation. Okay, the stoppage of menstruation is termed as menopause. Till now, we have learned about two new terms. That is, first is menarche and the second is menopause. So, students, what is menarche? It is the first menstrual flow begins at puberty. And what is menopause? It is the stoppage of menstruation. The stoppage of menstruation is termed as menopause. Initially, the menstrual cycle may be irregular and it takes some time to become regular. Okay, it takes some time to become regular. Means after some time, the menstrual cycle become regular. So this is all about reproductive phase of life in humans. Let's move to our next topic, that is determination of the sex of a baby. Now the question is, how can we determine the sex of a baby? How is the sex of a baby determined? So students, now we will learn that how can we determine the sex of a baby. Determination of sex of a child. The sex of a child is determined by the sex chromosomes. Now the question is, what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are the thread-like structures present inside the nucleus of every cell. Okay, these are the thread-like structure present inside the nucleus of every cell. Actually, there are many chromosomes present inside the nucleus of the cell. All human beings have 23 pair of chromosomes in the nuclei of their cells. Out of these, 2 chromosomes are the sex chromosomes named X and Y. And these sex chromosomes determine the sex of a child. The sex of the child is determined by the sex chromosome, which is named as X and Y. A female has 2 X chromosomes while a male has 1 X and Y chromosomes. The gametes, egg and sperm. Egg is the female gamete and sperm is the male gametes. Have only one set of chromosomes. Okay, there is a set of chromosomes. And the unfertilized egg means the female gamete always have 1 X chromosome, but the sperm are of 2 kinds. Means the male gametes are of 2 kinds. One kind has an X chromosome and the other kind has a Y chromosome. When a sperm containing X chromosome fertilizes the egg, then the zygote would have 2 X chromosomes. Okay, the zygote would have 2 X chromosomes and these 2 X chromosomes combine together to develop a female child. Means the 2 X chromosomes develop into a female child. Means the 2 X chromosomes combine together to form a female child means a girl. So the girl has 2 X chromosomes. Means if there are 2 X chromosomes, then the zygote would develop into a female child means a girl. So in this way, the sex chromosomes helps to determine the sex of a child. Here you can see the sperm is of X chromosome and the egg has also X chromosome and the zygote would develop into a girl child. Now the zygote have X chromosome and if this time a sperm containing Y chromosome fertilizes the egg, then zygote would develop into a male child. Okay, it means if there is a one X chromosome and other is Y chromosome, then the zygote would develop into a male child, means a boy. Here you can see in this picture that the sperms are of two kinds. One kind has X chromosome and the other kind has a Y chromosome. And on the other hand, the female has two X chromosomes. And when a sperm containing Y chromosomes fertilizes the egg, then the zygote would develop into a male child, means a boy. So if there is one X chromosome and other is Y chromosome, then this XY chromosomes develop into a male child. And similarly, if the sperm containing Y chromosome fertilizes the egg, then the zygote would develop into a female child, means into a girl. So if there are two X chromosomes, then these two X chromosomes combine together to form a female child, means a girl. So in this way, the sex chromosomes helps to determine the sex of a child. So from this discussion, we conclude that the sex chromosomes of the father determine the sex of an unborn baby. The belief that the mother is responsible for the sex of her baby is completely wrong. It is wrong. The sex chromosome of the father determine the sex of an unborn baby. Now the next topic is hormones other than sex hormones. We have already learned that the pituitary gland is an endocrine gland. Apart from the pituitary gland, there are other endocrine glands in the body. There are other endocrine glands also which is in our body. Let's know about them. Apart from pituitary gland, there are other endocrine glands also which is on our body, such as these are some endocrine glands. This table shows some endocrine glands and the hormone secreted by these glands. So the first gland is testes, which secrete a hormone testosterone. Next is ovaries, which secrete a hormone estrogen. Pancreas secrete a hormone insulin. Thyroid secrete a hormone thyroxine. The hormone secreted by thyroid is thyroxine. And the adrenal gland secrete adrenaline hormone. Okay, the adrenal glands produce the hormone named adrenaline, and these hormones help the body to adjust to stress when one is very angry, when the person is very angry or worried for some reason. The thyroid and adrenal secrete their hormones when they receive orders from the pituitary glands through its hormones. Okay, the thyroid and adrenals secrete their hormone when they receive order from pituitary. Pituitary also secrete growth hormone. Actually, pituitary secrete many hormones, and one of them is growth hormone, which is necessary for the normal growth of a person. A person suffers from a disease called goiter if thyroid gland does not produce the hormone thyroxine. It means when these glands not produces their hormone, then a person suffers from many disease. And a disease called goiter is caused by when the thyroid gland is not secrete the hormone thyroxine. So the disease caused by the deficiency of thyroxine is goiter. And if pancreas does not produce the hormone insulin, we have learned that the pancreas secrete a hormone insulin. But what happens when the pancreas does not produce the hormone insulin? So when pancreas does not produce the hormone insulin, then person suffers from a disease called diabetes. Okay, the person suffers from a disease diabetes. Now this picture shows the position of endocrine glands in the human body. You can see the pituitary gland is attached to the brain and the thyroid gland is in our throat. The thyroid gland is present in our throat. This picture shows the position of various endocrine glands like the adrenal glands, pancreas, position of the ovary in the female and testes. So from this picture you can get information about that where the endocrine glands is present in the human body. So we have learned that there are many endocrine glands are in our body, that are pituitary gland, second is thyroid gland, third is adrenal gland, pancreas, ovaries and testes.